professional boxer. I want to train and become strong and compete in real matches.
Boxing's no plaything.
What?
Where do you get off making a spur-of-the-moment decision to become a boxer?
I want to be a boxer. I want to be really strong. I want to be a new person. How does it feel to be so strong?
Hi everybody, it's Sid from Cool Moviegram, your source for everything about cool film. Those of you who are new here, just smash that subscribe button, like my videos, comment, share, and let me know your thoughts. And those of you who already done that, thank you very much and welcome back to the channel. Now, yeah, I thought I'd be doing something different today. Yeah, of course, I do cover a lot of Hong Kong cinema, martial arts movies and whatnot, and do reviews and rankings and lists. But today, I'm going to be doing something different, which is talking about a show which kind of, which is in particular a Japanese animated show, which I've only watched. It's been out since 2001, but I've only watched it when it came on Netflix, or I've only ever seen clips of it online. And of course, what we're talking about is HAJIME no IPPO, which is literally translated as carry on or keep running IPPO, which is it's like a sports drama anime, and it's created by Joji Morikawa, who's also known as George Morikawa, who had actually created the character back in 1989, and the comic strip is running today. So let's just see what it's all about. The story starts off with Ippo Makunoichi, who's a high schooler, and he's getting bullied because kids he doesn't really fit in, doesn't have many friends, and he's always working hard to look after his mom. She runs a fishing boat rental business, which was a business that was started off by his father, who had been lost at sea, and he has passed away, of course. So he died in an accident, and he's always getting bullied by kids because he smells of seaweed, and he's just very quiet. He's a very shy boy, but he's very polite as well. Then on one fateful day, he encounters Takamura, who's a up-and-coming middleweight boxer who trains at the Kamagawa gym, and he intervenes and saves Ippo, and then eventually Ippo kind of takes a liking towards boxing, and this kind of eventually leads him to joining the Kamagawa boxing gym, which is run by a trainer named Kamagawa, who was a boxer from the post-World War II era, and or even around that time as well, during World War II and before, like the 30s and 40s. He was a promising boxer from Japan, and he kind of sees the potential that Ippo has in order to be able to actually become a really big boxer, and he takes him under his wing, and knowing that this young man, although he's really polite and very respectful, he has this power. He has that strength as a fighter. He has really good he's a powerful fighter with throwing strong power punches. And because of his, he's always carrying heavy luggage like fishing supplies for his mother's business, and he's always running around. He's developed a strong foundation, and he builds upon this. And of course, you get to see him develop from this shy young boy to somebody with confidence. And eventually, as the show progresses, as even the story progresses, you see how Ippo Makunoichi kind of grows into this really confident young man who eventually is becoming a potential a champion as it goes on. the narrative was really good. It's a great underdog story rising up to the challenge, and also at the same time it carries a really good message. I mean, I loved how detailed the show was in terms of the training methods, because the style that he uses is the peekaboo style. Yeah, and which is of course made famous by Mike Tyson, as he was trained by Gus D'Amato in that style, considering he was a very short guy. He was not tall, but the fact is he was able to use that to his advantage and kind of like be able to actually fight at close range. He was an infighter, as they say. And you know, it even pays reference to that. And then you also got like Tommy Hitman Hearns, his Hitman style. One of the characters, Mashiba, who's this kind of like, pretty much first in as an antagonist, but then also he becomes like this very kind of, people resonate with him. I mean, that's one of the things that I loved about the show as well. They show a lot of the people and the opponents that IPPO actually fights in his professional boxing career. You actually get to see a different side to them as well. It kind of shows that they're not actually bad people. It's just people who are fighting, you know, fighters that are having to do their job, which is to get in the ring. And it kind of shows the impact of what can happen after the ring. But as much as I love like the fights, especially you know, when he's fighting what many people have considered to be probably the highlight of the animated series, is when he fought Sendo, who's like I think he's from a different prefecture. He's from Naniwa, whereas he's like the rookie of the year in his division at that stage. But then also, yeah, he wants to fight IPPO because he sees how good of a fighter he is from his matches. And you know, the fact is that they kind of paint this kind of story of him as not really a bad person, but it's just someone who loves fighting. And they show a different side to him, and you know, he kind of has become my favorite character, besides from like the main guys. And it's, you know, even Volk, who's like a fighter from Russia who had actually come over to Japan to forge a career in boxing, and you kind of see his story, and it's actually quite detailed. And also it's what makes it more interesting. I mean, as much as I love those fights, and like whenever the actual fights are coming up, and even the training routines that are shown, you know, coming up with things like the Dempsey roll, which IPPO kind of like develops himself as a way of kind of like being able to use his power punches and also have somewhat of a defense, which is like a pendulum. And of course it was, as the name goes, the Dempsey roll, which was made famous by Jack Dempsey, you know, a boxer in the 20s and you know, in the 1920s. And it's just, it kind of gets people charged up. It's very influential, this anime, because I'm pretty sure the creators of the Korean TV series on Netflix, which was Bloodhounds, had actually taken inspiration from Ippo Makunouchi. Like his Dempsey roll style is that the main character actually uses the kind of like, you know, he uses the whole kind of the weave, having his hands up. And even at one point, Rain's character in the second season, he drops his guard and starts like, you know, using the flicker jab, and even kind of pay homage to Hitman Hearns. So I'm thinking there's undeniable inspiration with from HAJIME no IPPO onto Bloodhounds. And I actually, which is a really good show as well. We loved it, absolutely action-packed and well made. And it's, but you know, what I really enjoyed about the show more than the actual fight sequences and the training and whatnot is just the interactions of the characters, like before and after the fights, and the fact that you get to kind of see what goes on, you know, beyond after the bell rings has rung, the final bout is over, or a knockout is done. You see how, you know, things transpire for a fighter, whether it's actually post-fight injuries or recovery time, and even at the same time, it's just the interactions of the characters and like the perspective and the kind of whether they've got a brand new perspective on their respective opponents, and also it shows the good and the bad. And also, what I really loved about this show is, I mean, although you had somewhat of a humorous kind of a humorous angle to it, where especially the kind of the ongoings with his friends at the gym, is that it's just the way that these characters are brought to life. I mean, you have Kamigawa, a very disciplined kind of old man who comes from like a different era, but he's also kind of passes his knowledge on to these young men. And you know, you got characters like Takamura, who's like the one who's actually tipped to become like, they always say he has the potential to become a great champion. You have Kimura and Aoki, who are like these you know, journeyman fighters who kind of you know, they are like the underlings of Takamura, because he's kind of seen as the de facto leader of the fighters, especially like their interactions are quite humorous, considering that this person is kind of seen as like this really big kind of like, you know, he's like the one that they all look up to. And you kind of learn more about boxing too. I mean, you kind of pick up a lot more things, especially when you kind of, if you're someone who's into boxing, you definitely would love this. I mean, if you enjoy the Rocky movies, if you enjoy Bloodhounds, if you enjoy any kind of sports drama, you will enjoy. There's something in here for everyone, because it kind of, it's a great underdog story, but at the same time it actually provides a really good message about the human spirit. The fact that, you know, times can be tough, times can be very kind of like, you know, and times can put you, like, put a really big test on you. Like, they can put you through a really big test, but it's always about having that mentality of just keeping on and just going. And it's just, you know, that's like, you know, in anything, whether it's your training, whether it's your fitness, whether it's work. I mean, I think it's a really kind of inspirational show to watch. I mean, especially some young people, because I've known that a lot of people who have actually watched this show or have read the manga, which has been going like every week since like, well, it's in a weekly magazine in Japan. It started up in 1989, and it's still going to this day, which is amazing. You know, it's like the fact that it's going on for that long. So you know, but the anime itself has only been made, they've only done 3 seasons. I mean, the first season, which was I think it was, yeah, I think it's about 75 episodes in total, but then they had like a movie / OVA, one OVA, which was just before season 2 started, and then you had another one which was Mashiba versus Kimura. The first seasons, I would say was amazing. The 75 episodes, it was just really good. I mean, one of those you could just binge watch and you'd want to know more, because it's just, to be honest, for me, not really a bad episode in any of the shows. I know they have a couple of like recap episodes where they kind of go through like pretty much just what's been happening in the show and the story, but then but then the one thing that apparently a lot of criticism, I enjoyed the second one. I thought from season 2 you saw how even the animation became a bit more slick and a bit more kind of glossier than the first season of Hajime no Ippo. It was pretty much very kind of much more, seeming a bit more cinematic. Even the fights in this series are very cinematic in terms of like their presentation. But it's just nice to see an anime where some people are finally, you know, there's no superpowers and there's no power levels or level ups, and you know, there's no supernatural demons being killed and whatnot, fighting demons and all, because there's so many of those type of genre animes. And I thought this was actually a really good story, because I've known a lot of people. This show has inspired a lot of younger people to get into boxing. And I mean, I myself, for example, I mean, I've been training in martial arts since I was 13. I mean, I did do martial arts. I mean, right now I'm pretty much, apart from work, I'm usually at the gym, and I also kind of still try to incorporate like a boxing workout, which, you know, in my workout, even a little bit of martial arts too. But then that's usually that is my cardio workout. And you know, it keeps me going. I'm thinking something like this, if I had watched this as a teenager, it probably would have inspired me even more. And also, I would say I've known about this because apparently I mean, the one thing that a lot of fighters do not like when it comes to training is the road work. It's just running for so long, like running on the roads and getting like the distance. They usually do about 5K a day or something on average. And you know, the thing is, you've got kids who are joining because they were inspired by HAJIME and they enjoy doing road work. They love going for runs, and I'm like, even other boxers are like, wow, you got kids that actually like road work. I mean, my son has been doing boxing for had done boxing for about a couple of years, and even he used to say, because he used to hate road work. He said, he still says it. He's 18 years old now, and he said he hates road work, and he said he'd much rather do some skipping or just some drills for his cardio. But he says when it comes to running on the streets, he just does not like doing road work at all. But even though he gets it done, but he just says it's not his most favourite part of training. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I do road work sometimes, usually once or maybe twice a week. I just do about maybe 7K runs and try and get that done. It takes about 40 minutes for me to do that at the moment, but it ain't too bad. Not bad for someone who's 41 years old. But anyways, yeah, it's again a great message in this show, which is, you know, the human spirit is stronger than you think. Things may not go the way that you want them to go. They may not be in your favor, but you know, eventually, if you work hard enough, you can actually, if you want to change your circumstances, you can do so. I mean, it's like the inspiration of Takamura, of IPPO. I remember when you see in the first episode how IPPO asks Takamura that he tells him, says he wants to just become a boxer, and he says, you know, boxing, don't insult the sport, don't, you know, this is a world you do not know what you think a weakling that you can bring. And he says, I want to know what it's like to be strong, because I want to bring that. That's like, you know, not even, for example, the kids that are bullying him. It's like one of the main bully, Umezawa, who's, I think he's actually based upon the creator, Georgie Morikawa. He's you know, it's like you see them because when the interactions with his bullies, when they find out that he's a boxer, and he says that he didn't train to kind of get revenge on his bullies. He trained to actually just better himself. And eventually those same bullies, they kind of really become good friends with him, and to start going to his matches and supporting him. And you know, it kind of shows that this one kid who just before leaving school, he was like pretty much at one point, he was very, you know, pretty much overlooked. Everyone thought he was just some quiet, weird kid. And then eventually when he becomes this really successful boxer who's going on like on a winning streak, and when people hear a name of him actually becoming a fighter, they actually start admiring him, thinking, wow, you know, it's like that he actually makes friends at school. You know, apart from just having friends at the gym, but then he also has friends at school, and he has friends, and it kind of like, you know, even on the last day of the school, they actually take, like when they graduate, everyone's actually taking pictures, wanting to take pictures with him, including the teachers. And it's kind of, you know, it's a really, you know, it's very inspirational story, and it's just a shame because apparently they stopped after the third season. Because season 2 and season 3, apparently, from what I've heard, they've missed a lot of chapters out, and they kind of skimmed over. They missed a few kind of stories. They missed a few kind of chapters and a few arcs that were missed out. And for some reason, they're saying just because they were able to maybe sell a lot of things. But as far as I'm aware, this show is very popular. I mean, even people are still waiting for the next chapter, because this has been going on up until now. I mean, I know at this present moment in time, I've heard that the Georgie Morikawa, who created the show, is actually kind of has some health problems, and he's been in hospital for quite some time, and apparently he is looking to just finish the story. You know, so he's kind of on a hiatus from the last time I heard. But you know, you get to, as you know, the show goes on, you will see a lot more people, kind of a lot more characters get involved, especially when you see some of them going towards the more of the international stage of fighting rather than just the local based. And it's damn good. It's damn good. Wow. I mean, the music is really, really good, especially the first two openings. I thought they were really, the opening song used, which were by a Japanese rock band called, I think it's Bitter Lemon, yeah. And these guys only recorded one album and they disappeared, even though these songs are pretty much staples in workout music, especially if it's for like boxing or for even the music score. It's really good for I'd say it's got some really good kind of like pieces which kind of, you know, great accompanied for like if you want to do some like cardio, some running, or even training itself. It's just very kind of music to get you fired up, and you know, the part of my workout playlist too. I know, but I'm just hoping it does carry on, because this is a great show, a great underdog story. You know, the characters are well detailed, and it's got the perfect kind of balance of humor, and even like depicting the training kind of routines. I mean, some of the humor can be a bit crude, and it can be a bit kind of like fan servicey, but it's just, it doesn't take over the show. It doesn't kind of like become the show's main kind of selling point. It's fan service, isn't it? Or, you know, toilet humor and vulgarity is not really the big point. I mean, it's part of it, but it's not really something that's taken over the whole show itself. But anyways, man, I mean, if I had to rate, I don't know, you know, I'd have to rate it like maybe, I would say season 1, I'd say that's a 5 out of 5 season. That's 5 stars, 5 out of 5, absolutely amazing. Season 2, I kind of liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I would say about 4. It was really enjoyable. It's a very good show. And season 3, you know what? As much as that, I thought it could have actually carried on, and we could have done with some more episodes after season 3 as well. But even during season 3, but I would still say, you know what? I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it's got some good fights in there, and I thought, yeah, definitely, I would also say maybe 4 stars too. So I mean, overall, I would say this show is it's highly recommended. I urge you to watch it, and you know, especially, I mean, if someone who's younger, like maybe a teenager and whatnot. I mean, it's one of those very kind of, it's a very inspirational show. It's very kind of you know, it will kind of change your opinion on a lot of things. You never know. I mean, even if you're someone who's my age or even older, it might even want this. It might even motivate you to take your fitness a bit more seriously, looking after your health, or maybe something that you want to kind of do. Maybe even if it is joining a local boxing club, or if you want to maybe start like incorporating some of it into your workout, as I am, like I'm doing that in the gym, because even though I do weights, but for me, my cardio is usually, you know, a boxing circuit which usually consists of skipping, shadow boxing, and then going on the bags for a round. Like do a round each, like do that about a few times with a minute rest. That's usually my cardio. But anyways, but that's enough fitness talk. But I'm not a fitness influencer by all means. But I would say definitely, if you enjoyed shows like Bloodhounds, and if you enjoy the Rocky movies, and if you enjoy things like even if you enjoyed stuff like Baki Hanma, and you know, things, you know, anything to do with, or even stories like the Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, I reckon you will enjoy HAJIME no Ippo. It's a really inspirational show. That was it. I mean, if you've watched the show, what did you think of it yourself? Let me know. And also, if there's any other animes that are pretty much similar to HAJIME no Ippo, just let me know about them, because to be fair, I would love to see another one. I know there's Tomorrow's Joe, which was an older one, but then of course I've seen clips of it, but I have not watched the show yet, or or shows or movies. I'm not too sure whether they're movies or shows, but I would love to see more. boxing themed animes, which kind of handled like the story in a very mature way as well, because that's what I like about this, in a very mature kind of sensitive way, but at the same time making it appealing to a vast amount of audiences. That was me. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one.